Stop scrolling, because this isn't just a hero story. Imagine being punished with 12 impossible missions, where every task is designed to kill you, and the gods are watching to see you fail. That man is Hercules, or Heracles in Greek myth, the strongest mortal ever to walk the earth. He wasn't born normal. Hercules is the son of Zeus, king of the gods, and a mortal woman named Augean. And the moment he existed, he became a target. Hera, Zeus's wife, hated him because he was living proof of Zeus's betrayal. So instead of a quiet life, Hercules grew up under a shadow, jealousy from Olympus, danger in the mortal world, and a fate that kept pulling him toward tragedy. But here's the twist. Hercules doesn't become legendary because he wants fame. He becomes legendary because he needs redemption. After a horrifying collapse, one that destroys everything he loves, Hercules must find a way to pay for his sins, and that path leads him to a brutal sentence, serving King Eurystheus, a ruler who gives him missions not to reward him, but to break him. And those missions are about to become the most famous trials in Greek mythology, the 12 labors of Hercules. After the tragedy that shattered his life, Hercules goes to the Oracle of Delphi, seeking a way to make things right. The answer is cruel. He must serve King Eurystheus, a man who fears Hercules' strength and gives him missions that are meant to be suicide. Hercules accepts because this isn't about pride anymore, it's about redemption. Labor 1 sends him to face the Nemean Lion, a beast whose hide cannot be cut by any blade. Spears and arrows bounce off like toys. So Hercules does the unthinkable. He closes the distance, traps the lion, and strangles it with his bare arms. Then he skins it using the lion's own claws, and from that moment on, he wears its pelt like armor. Proof that brute force isn't enough. You need willpower that doesn't break. Labor 2 is worse. The Lernaean Hydra, a serpent monster with many heads. Each time you cut one off, 2 grow back. Hercules fights it in the swamp, drowning in poison breath and snapping jaws. He realizes the pattern. Strength alone will never end this. In many versions, his companion Iolaus helps by burning the neck stumps so new heads can't grow. Hercules finally defeats the Hydra, but the victory has a dark cost. The Hydra's venom is so lethal that Hercules later uses it to coat his arrows, turning his weapons into something feared even by monsters. Labor 3 demands restraint instead of violence. Capture the Cernaean hind, a sacred deer swift as the wind and dedicated to a goddess. Hercules chases it for what feels like forever, across forests, mountains, and rivers, until he finally traps it without killing it. This labor proves he isn't just a destroyer, he can control himself. Labor 4 throws him into the wild again, the Erymanthian boar, a monstrous animal that tears through the land like a living storm. Hercules drives it up into deep snow where it slows, then wrestles it into submission. He drags it back alive, humbling the king who wanted him dead. Then Eurystheus gives him a mission meant to disgrace him. Labor 5. Clean the Augean stables, filthy beyond imagination, packed with years of waste. It's not a battle, it's humiliation. But Hercules turns humiliation into genius. He reroutes rivers, sending rushing water through the stables, washing them clean in a single day. The message is clear. Hercules isn't only muscle, he is strategy. Labor 6 brings him to the skies, the Stymphalian birds, man-eating creatures with sharp metallic feathers. They swarm like a living storm. Hercules uses noise and force to drive them from hiding, then shoots them down and scatters the flock. It's a different kind of fight, against speed, chaos, and fear. Now the labors expand beyond Greece. Labor 7, capture the Cretan bull, a raging beast that destroys fields and terrifies entire cities. Hercules wrestles it, holds it down, and brings it back alive. Again, not as a trophy of slaughter, but proof of control. Labor 8 is brutality made real. The mares of Diomedes, horses that have been trained to eat human flesh. They scream, bite, and thrash like nightmares on 4 legs. Hercules confronts Diomedes himself, and in some versions, turns the cruelty back on its master, feeding Diomedes to the very beasts he created. With their master gone, the horses finally calm, as if violence was the chain that bound them. Labor 9 sends him into a world of warriors. He must obtain the belt of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. In some stories, Hippolyta is willing to give it peacefully, until Hera intervenes, spreading paranoia and turning negotiation into war. The battle explodes, allies fall, trust collapses. And Hercules leaves with the belt, not feeling triumphant, only reminded that the gods can poison even peaceful moments. Labor 10 pushes him to the edge of the world. Steal the cattle of Geryon, a giant often described with an unnatural body, part man, part monster, beyond ordinary death. The cattle are guarded by terrifying forces. Hercules crosses seas, marches into unknown lands, and fights through guardians to claim the herd. He drives them back across impossible distance, because the labor isn't just to steal, it's to endure. By now, Eurystheus is desperate. Hercules is still alive, so the king changes the rules. 2 of the earlier labors are often not counted, one because Hercules had help, another because he was said to have accepted payment. So 10 becomes 12. The punishment grows, even after success. Labor 11 demands something that belongs to the gods. The golden apples of the Hesperides, hidden in a sacred garden at the ends of the earth and guarded by terrible power. Hercules searches until he finds the Titan Atlas, who knows where the apples are. Hercules offers a trade. He will hold up the sky, Atlas's burden, if Atlas retrieves the apples. Atlas agrees, and Hercules takes on a weight that feels like the universe crushing his spine. When Atlas returns, he tries to leave Hercules trapped forever. But Hercules outsmarts him, asking Atlas to hold the sky just for a moment while he adjusts his grip, and then Hercules walks away with the apples. One more time, power wins battles, but intelligence wins survival. And then comes the final labor, the one that breaks most men before it even starts. Labor 12. Bring back Cerberus, the 3-headed hound that guards the gates of the underworld. Hercules must descend into the land of the dead, where air feels heavier, where hope fades, where every step whispers that you won't return. He faces spirits, darkness, and the presence of Hades himself. And when Cerberus lunges, snapping 3 jaws at once, Hercules doesn't rely on weapons. He wraps his arms around the monster and wrestles it into submission through sheer strength and unstoppable will. He drags Cerberus into the world of the living, proof that he has gone where mortals should never go, and returned. At last, the 12 labors are complete. Not because Hercules was fearless, but because he kept moving even when fear, pain, and fate were screaming at him to stop. This wasn't just a list of tasks. It was a journey, from tragedy to punishment to redemption, and to the birth of a legend that even the gods couldn't erase. And when it's finally over, the truth hits harder than any monster. Hercules didn't win because the world was fair. He won because every single labor was designed to break him, and he refused to stay broken. He faced beasts that couldn't be pierced, poisons that could kill with a breath, and tasks meant to humiliate him in front of kings and gods. He crossed oceans, fought in foreign lands, outsmarted titans, and walked into the underworld, then came back holding the guardian of death by the neck. That's why his story survived for thousands of years. Because Hercules isn't just the strongest, he's a symbol of something darker and more human. You can carry a curse, you can fall into tragedy, and still choose to rise. Not once, 12 times. So the next time you hear the name Hercules, remember this. The legend wasn't built by muscles. It was built by endurance, by a man who kept moving forward when the whole world wanted him to stop.